All right, so let's go over how to structure a conditioning workout. Number one, no pulls, crowns, or triangles. Um, Quite frankly, they're boring. They're a lot longer than any baseball play will ever take place. So they don't really do anything sports specific, if you want to claim that. Really, they're just a waste of time. Nobody likes them. They're just kind of old, outdated, and dumb. Step number two, we still want to do some sort of dynamic warm up because if we do this correctly, the intensity of whatever exercise you choose is still going to be difficult enough to where injury can happen. So you want to make sure that your athletes are warm. We don't want to just go right into it. Step number three, this is probably the most important one. You want to pick movements that the athlete doesn't normally do. So we want to go crossover runs, skips, med ball throws, anything backwards because every athlete does everything going forwards. Very rarely do anything like backwards running, back pedaling, backward skips, all sorts of things. You want to pick things that aren't normally done to increase that movement library. If you increase that movement library, you're going to give the athlete more solutions to solve problems in a game. And number two, if you increase that library, the injury resilience usually goes up again due to that being able to solve more problems a lot of different ways. And then step number four would be the work to rest ratio. You usually want to keep this anywhere from 1.5 to 1 to 1. So if you pick anything, let's say a crossover run. You crossover run for 5-10 seconds. You want your rest to be 5 to 10 seconds, or 7 to 15 seconds if you kind of work with the ratio in different ways. Um, you want to keep it at this because if we go any less, the athlete gets too fatigued and you kind of miss the power or speed component that you might get out of it. Obviously, it's not direct power and speed work, but if you want to choose things that can help work on that, you don't want to go too much less than that. If you go too much, then the intensity better be at max effort. But then again, that kind of gets away from the whole conditioning aspect of it. So you want to keep it at this 1.5 to 1 to 1 ratio. And then last but not least, don't overdo it too often. If there's one workout in every 2-3 weeks, in the fall when it's most important, they really want to overdo it. Guys are keeled over, really struggling for air. That's okay, but when you're doing it 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times in even 2 week span might be a little bit too much. You kind of start to get a negative effect. Your athletes start to become slower. They're going to be cranky because they're dying at practice. They're not able to do any other workouts that they want to do. Like I said, if you want to do it once every 2-3 weeks, fine. Any more than that kind of defeats the purpose and gets away from what we want to do.